So I've got an interesting story for you today. A gentleman by the name of Jonathan Harmon, here he is, came into our Discord server yesterday in our open mic session and revealed quite a few things, which I'm going to get into. But first, let's start with who this person is so you can see the credibility that stands behind them, to be honest with you. And I was quite amazed after finding out who he really was, that he came in and joined us and what he had to say. Now, I have to admit, at first I was very, very suspicious, and I pressed him very hard, to be honest with you, because of the things he was saying. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. But again, let's start with who he is. His name, Jonathan Harmon, like I said before. And he was in the military. Here's some pictures I found of him back in the day. You can see. And more importantly, I guess most famously, he is known for helping Marcus Luttrell. Yeah, the lone survivor, right? That movie with Mark Wahlberg, right? Marcus Luttrell. True story, right? Soldier behind enemy lines that needs rescuing. Yeah, Jonathan was a big part of that and part of his reintegration, helping him, getting him out. And Jonathan went on Marcus Luttrell's podcast and spoke about it. And I put a few clips together to kind of help explain who Jonathan is. And honestly, I'm amazed. Amazed by this guy, to be honest with you, and what he's done. And I think he deserves to at least be heard. Right, just based on what he's done for the, American patriots, right? American military service members, right? He's participated in over 1,000 rescue missions. It's crazy. So we'll get into that. Here's some clips to help you understand Jonathan a little bit better.
All right, let's start this out, brother. This is going to be a good one. Like most people are not going to have any other day the way this is going to shift, but
yeah.
Oh,
Do you want to introduce him?
Well, yeah. Well, no, I don't know how I would properly do that without getting in the background of it. So here's the deal, man. I got somebody on the show I've been wanting y'all to meet. I got somebody on the show y'all been wanting to meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the best way to say it. You didn't know he existed. Most people don't. It's like the career path is crazy. The stories, just before I even showed up and even after I left, his career path was crazy. Mm-hmm. But the way that you came into my life is a good one. So that's another reason why you're here. We're going to talk about it. So
Jay Harmon.
We're going to start that.
PJ.
Air Force guy. Yeah. There's a bunch to it.
And so I worked the night shift with, working, 16-hour days or something like that, 7 days a week. And I got a chance to coordinate probably, maybe 1,000 rescue missions, and dust off, recovery missions as well as rescue missions. They had an established protocol.
That's right.
For communications, and they were adhering to the protocol. And it's when that stopped, that was no longer effective, that the plan B comes out, and that's whip out a cell phone. And I would say was a sat phone?
Yeah, it's that. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a sat phone. When the sat phone call comes in to the SEDF, they immediately write it down. They log it, and when they log it, we picked it up. And I'm like, uh-oh. My spidey sense has been kicking, and now we have confirmation. We have troops in contact. This is not good. I think the American public would find it completely fascinating what efforts our government will go to bring their people home.
It was the best.
Yeah.
You were sending like Morse code or what through the radio?
Oh, can't even believe what we were doing.
Yeah.
You just can't even believe it. Then we come up with ideas that you can't even possibly think of.
I can't get into it because a lot of this.
I didn't even know they existed until one of them showed up, and I was like, I think I understand.
Yeah.
And I would do something, and it would work, and I'd be like, and then I'd do something else, and it wouldn't, and then it was weird.
Yeah. So the support phase kicks in a whole bunch of different ways. Support can come in many ways. Right, so a lot of them could be moral support. Mm-hmm. So we can't necessarily get you out, but we can communicate with you and let you know you're not alone. Mm-hmm. Right, we've got an eye on you. And
that was the biggest thing. I was like, once I knew that sucker had an eyeball on me, I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, my whole
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my boys got me now.
Yeah.
Like, once I knew they saw me and where I was, that's what changes your team guy.
And how did you know that? What moment was that?
Oh, I got something.
Yeah.
I got a little gift. Showed up.
But
So-
can you say that? Can you say what it
did.
was? I know, but what was the gift?
It was a gift. That's what I'm going to say.
So as you can see, this guy is the real deal, right? And again, someone that's done what he's done deserves to be heard. He came into our Discord server and said that he had gone to Lue Elizondo's show in Arizona, right? And here you can see Lue Elizondo tweeting out about this show, right? Well, he said he went and met with Lue Elizondo, right? There's a picture of them together. I did not do that editing. That was him. So anyway, he goes to the show and comes back in our Discord and kind of tells us a little bit. Well, if you remember, Lue Elizondo had tweeted out yesterday as well that some shows were going to be canceled. Some upcoming shows were going to be rescheduled, not canceled, rescheduled for early 2025. Here's a tweet that Lue Elizondo put out about it. And, due to scheduling conflicts, right? That's what he said. Well, turns out there may be more to that story because according to Jonathan, he spoke to Lue at this event and Lue confirmed he is going to testify at the upcoming hearing on November 13th in the House. So that's what he confirmed to Jonathan. Now, is that the reason why he canceled these events rescheduled these events? Jonathan couldn't confirm that. He has no idea. I don't either. But it makes sense, being it so close, that's the reason these events got rescheduled, to prepare for his testimony, which honestly makes a lot of sense, regardless of how you feel about Lue, right? Someone that's going to testify before Congress like that and tell their story and probably be the only time they do it, they're going to want to prepare. I totally get that. And maybe it just wasn't decided until the last second, right? Because Lue has stated earlier in October that this may be a possibility, but he wasn't entirely sure.
There's a lot happening, folks. There's a lot happening. There's a chance I may be testifying here soon. I won't go into details.
Now we know Lue is going to testify, according to Jonathan, who I believe, just based on his background, right? And it's quite interesting. He had a lot of other things to say, to be honest with you. So I'm trying to get Jonathan on the podcast, and I hope he comes on so we can talk a little bit more. One thing that he said that was quite interesting was this in an earlier interview, which he kind of stated in our open mic as well, using the same terminology. Check it out.
Your intel birds, your surveillance and reconnaissance, and then you have collection devices. You have the ability to intercept communications, they're friendly or are foreign or hostile. There is a constellation of satellites that also monitor different types of things. And so all of that fused together, we use to monitor what's going on.
And after hearing that, again, he kind of said the same thing to us in our open mic. I asked him this question because I heard the term constellation. So I asked him, what do you know about Immaculate Constellation, right? And he had said that he had heard about Immaculate Constellation back in 2005, right? He was pretty sure. He wasn't 100% sure, but he's pretty sure he had heard this at a messaging app, something like that. And, always stuck with him. So when that program came out, he was like, whoa. Right. So Immaculate Constellation potentially has been around since 2005. Right. That's interesting. Right. So what do we do with that information? Right. Hopefully Jonathan can come on and talk a little bit more about it. Now, he did say that he wasn't sure if that was real or counter intel. Right. But it was interesting. So again, I would love to get Jonathan on because he has a lot more information and knowledge about the UFO topic and things that he said in our open mic, like I can't talk about that, which there's more to the story there. So hopefully I can get him on and we can have a great conversation that I think you guys would enjoy. So anyway, I don't know what y'all think. So what did we learn? Well, we learned that Lue Elizondo is going to be testifying at this hearing at the House, again, according to Jonathan Harmon, and that this Immaculate Constellation program has potentially been around since 2005. And will that be a big part of this hearing, right? So that's the goal, to get Jonathan on. Maybe after the hearings, we'll see. But either way. So there you go. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep.